place. I'm doing fine, I'm feeling great. You're not my fan, you can't relate. Straight talk going, stay not safe. Before you cross me, look both ways. Leaving the scene with no trace. None in my league, you out of place. I'm not at the top, I'm outer space. Can't eat with us, we're out of place. I'm doing fine, I'm feeling great. You're not my fan, you can't relate. Straight talk going, state to state.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's your host, your boy George Mackay, and I am here at Destiny Wrestling Homecoming, and I am sitting down with the one, the only Warhorse.
Warhorse, say it in all caps.
Warhorse!
That's what we're talking about. You don't got to be quiet. There's a show going on right now. There's a lot of stuff happening over there. I'm not worried about it. I'm not over there. Warhorse is over here kicking ass and taking names.
It's true. It's very true. So my first question, the TNT Championship Open Challenge with Cody Rhodes. It was huge. A lot of people pushed for you to be there. You got a shot to answer the call, and it was one heck of a match. A lot of people say that that was one of the matches that made Warhorse more of a household name than he already was.
That definitely is a fair way to put it. That's the only way that people got more horse out of Warhorse. That put Warhorse on the map. But if you think about it, Warhorse was already on the map prior to that, because if it wasn't for the people watching at home, if it wasn't for the people, the fans of Warhorse, chanting his name, making sure to say his name online, and basically twist the arm of a multi-million-dollar company and force Tony Khan to put Warhorse on TV, there would have been no match. So it's not that that match made Warhorse, it's that you guys made Warhorse.
That's true. Actually, the fans.
That's damn right.
The fans did a lot.
They were getting pissed too. You guys were bothering them every week. It was awesome. Love the enthusiasm.
So the evolution of Warhorse, it's a great story. Started off JP Warhorse, and then we just went to straight up Warhorse.
Yes.
What was the evolutionary point that made you want to drop the JP and just go strictly Warhorse?
Well, around the time I started what I'm doing now, a lot of my friends were getting picked up, and they were getting jobs for good reason. And I looked in the mirror, and I said, what's the difference between what they're doing and what I'm doing? And the difference is I wasn't unique enough. I wasn't different enough. I didn't stand out. How could I make myself different? So I sat down and I started thinking, and I took all those nasty, rotten, stinking thoughts and I put them into a wrestling gimmick. And that is what you see before you today, right here, sitting here live, living Technicolor. Warhorse is the product of my filthy, rotten imagination.
Now, Warhorse is a big fan of metal.
Yes.
And he loves metal.
What gave it away?
Kind of the whole package.
You like the new vest?
I do. It's fantastic.
I sound like the ghost of Christmas past over here. It's awesome. I'm going to haunt you in your sleep tonight.
So when Warhorse is going into overdrive for one of his workouts,
yes,
what is on Warhorse's playlist?
Brother, I have been listening to Skullfist a lot lately. I always keep Death fired up on the playlist. That first album, Scream Bloody Gore, masterpiece. While I was in Europe earlier this year, in springtime, I was there for a month, and my phone service went to shit. No Spotify, no Apple Music, no nothing. The only thing I had downloaded on my phone was Eternal Champion's Armor of Ire album, and I can listen to that album anytime I lift weights. That album gets me fired up. It's more traditional metal. It's not so much death and growly, but I think everybody would love that type of music.
Absolutely. I like some metal. I'm not as hardcore as yourself.
Dude, check them out. Check out Eternal Champion, Skullfist, what is it? Savage Master just dropped a new album this year. That thing rips fucking. It's awesome. And they have a female lead singer, too.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
female vocals on metal, it just kind of goes hand in hand.
Hell yeah, man. I think you'd like that a lot.
I'm going to have to check it out for sure. Thank you for the recommendation.
Of course.
Now, another question is, I'm a big fan of MLW, and you did some work with MLW on their last season. It was fantastic to see you there, and I think you had some great work. Has there been any conversations with Core Power? Are they looking to bring the Warhorse back?
So I was actually, I don't know if this counts as the last season or the next season or what the hell is going on, but Warhorse took part in the Battle Riot earlier this year. So it's always nice that they'll extend an olive branch, but right now Warhorse is having fun being independent, doing my own thing, being the hottest commodity in professional wrestling today, unsigned talent, top of the list. Just waiting for the right place to come calling. But that means I can do whatever I want. I can go work for AEW. I've done Dark a couple times this year. I can go work for MLW. I've had a couple matches for them this year. I can go do NWA. I can go do Impact. I can do extra work for WWE if I feel like it. I can do whatever the hell I want. I can go to Europe for a month at a time. I've done it twice this year. I'll do it again. I got options.
So when you say the right place come calling, what is the right place for Warhorse? Is it a place that's going to accept Warhorse as he is?
Yeah. I So we talked about the Cody match, and we're straight shooting here right now. We're straight shooting, okay? Right into this camera, straight talk. If I did all that on my own, people buzzing, and I didn't do it on my own, it was because of you guys, but if I garnered the interest of each and every person watching this video on my own, just imagine what a budget would do. Just imagine what kind of outreach Warhorse would have with the right company. So it's not a matter of signing the first piece of paper that falls in front of me. It's a matter of finding the right place, the right fit for Warhorse. And also, I got calluses all over my hands from lifting barbells and calluses all over my feet from kicking ass everywhere. So I got to make sure the roster can hang with Warhorse.
Absolutely. Now, Warhorse is no slouch to amazing matches, and you've had a whole ton. But when you look at
badass one today,
yeah, oh, that one, you and Shane Samer tore it down.
Made him tap out. You guys keep calling it a sharpshooter up here. Scorpion Deathlock.
So you're a Sting fan?
Ricky Choshu actually named it, not me. So
fair enough.
That's who originated it. He picked the name. Everybody tried to change it for Brett. I get it. We're in Brett territory. But sorry, Stinger and Ricky Choshu. Scorpion Deathlock.
Absolutely. I'm a huge Sting mark. Sting's one of my all-time favorites. Yeah, I can tell.
What gave it away?
The face paint.
Oh.
So when you
What face paint?
No, sorry. I mean the realness of the Metal Warhorse.
This is what I do when people ask me for pictures and I don't have my shit on.
So when it comes to all the great matches that you've had over your career, or even this year alone, or the last 2 years, what would you say is one of the ones where you felt Warhorse was at the top of his game?
I had a match. It's not been released yet. There's a couple things around this match that hopefully it'll see the light of day soon. They're working on it. It's through the editing process. It's getting shopped around for a couple things. I don't want to speak too much on it. But I had a match earlier this year with Hiromu Takahashi. Maybe my finest work all year. Maybe my finest work all year. But I was at a low point going into that match, and I knew I wanted to, prove myself that I could hang with people like that. Because for a long time, I mean, I get how I look. I know how I talk. I know what kind of promos I do. But I get lumped in with comedy gimmicks. I don't do comedy. I've never done comedy, ever. I might be the funniest guy in wrestling. Yeah, that's, God forbid I have a personality, but doesn't mean I'm a comedy wrestler. As soon as that bell rings, I'm there to kick ass and take names. So it's nice to step in the ring with a professional like Hiromu and be able to tear it up with him.
Absolutely. Now, you did mention comedy, and you do get looped in a lot. I mean, can we discuss Warhausen?
Is that comedy, though?
It's not really comedy. It's more of a juxtaposition of two characters on both ends of the spectrum, finding that common ground.
I mean, juxtaposition is a great way to describe it, because I am chaotic good, and I would say that Danhausen is lawful evil. So, of course, we're opposites, but, opposites attract. And we only had a handful of tag matches, but we click like a unit. And maybe there's more in the future, but obviously Danhausen's doing great on his own. I'm doing my own thing, trying to figure out what the next step is for Warhorse, but I'm not going to rush into anything.
Now, Warhorse can do a lot of different styles. Warhorse can hang with some of the best. And some of the ones that he hasn't hung with, I know he can hang with. But will Warhorse ever get to the point where he has to go extreme in terms of using more weapons that he might have used in previous matches? We're talking like a death match type of feel.
I mean, I did a Monstrous Ball match earlier this year where I think we poured 10,000 tacks in the center of the ring, and me and Crash Jackson fighting in the thumbtacks. PCO and Madman Fulton were in that match too. It's with the Wrestling Revolver. It's also on Impact Plus on their YouTube channel. You can check it out there. But yeah, I'm never afraid to tear it up that way.
Nice. And when it comes to your dream concert, one band that you could see that you have never been able to see, could be long gone or still touring, who would that band be for Warhorse?
I would say Power Trip. They were based out of Texas. They're a thrash metal band. Their lead singer passed away last year. Never got the chance to see them live. I'd love to see Power Trip live, dude. Missed out on it.
Is there any vocalist out there that could kind of take his place?
I mean, his name's Riley, and I don't think anybody would be able to fill his shoes. Yeah. I don't know that anybody would want him to either.
Yeah.
Just because it's something special. That's like Pantera's touring, and they've replaced some people. That's not Pantera, bro.
Yeah.
It's not Pantera. Just like they replaced a singer, that's not Power Trip.
Yeah,
That's just my opinion on it, but I wouldn't want to see it that way.
It's like when Queen replaced Freddie Mercury. It's not the same.
Exactly. And, it's different if they're trying to go for a different sound, maybe like Iron Maiden or AC/DC or something, where when they switch, it's a whole new thing. But then you get stuff where, like when Iron Maiden tried to replace him for the third time, sometimes it just doesn't work. It doesn't work out. I don't know how else to answer the question.
No, I think you answered it perfectly. Now, here's a question that a lot of people might not expect you to have a good answer for. It is the Christmas season. Does Warhorse have an all-time favorite Christmas song?
No Presents for Christmas by King Diamond.
I really thought you were going to say Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas.
Why would you think that?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Uh-oh.
Say it again. Say it again.
I apologize.
Say it again.
I'll never say it again.
Cute, we'll get cute.
I'll never.
Get real cheeky.
And my final question. 2023 is going to be another great year for Warhorse. I know this. I feel this in my bones.
So I feel it in my bones, too.
What's something that Warhorse wants to do in 2023 to check off his list?
Let's chalk that up as to be continued.
I like that.
I don't want to give too much away.
I like that. And now, if you could do one more favor for me, if you could give me all the Warhorse that you got, which is 100 all the time, look in the camera.
What have I been doing?
Yeah, you've been doing it all. I'm sorry. I apologize
Jesus.
again. But if you could look in the camera and say, you guys are watching Straight Talk Wrestling, and you better subscribe.
Hey, it's Warhorse, and you guys are watching Straight Talk Wrestling. Now take that subscribe button. I don't want you to hit it. I don't want you to smash it. I want you to drop a big, bad bitch and elbow drop on that subscribe button right now.
Thank you so much. All right, guys, that's it for this one of Straight Talk Wrestling. I'm your host, your boy, George Mackay, and I'm here with none other than the amazing Warhorse. Peace, love, and wrestling. We'll see you next time.
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to tune in next week for another great episode on all available podcast platforms and hosted on Podbean. Also, check us out on YouTube at Straight Talk Wrestling, on Instagram at Straight Talk Wrestling, on Facebook at Straight Talk Wrestling, and on Twitter at _Straight Talk. And if you feel the need to buy some sweet merch, check us out on ProWrestlingTees.com.
Leaving the scene with no trace, not in my league. You out of place. I'm not at the top. I'm outer space. Can't eat with us. We're out of place. I'm doing fine. I'm feeling great. You're not my fan. You can't relate. Straight talk going state to state.